Good morning, everybody. It's Chad from Sticks Blog. So, if you keep up with any of my social network sites, my blog, anything like that, you'll know that summer 2018, my son and I are going to be hiking the John Muir Trail along with a couple of friends. So until then, I'm hoping time hurries up and goes by, although I'm pretty sure it's going to come on pretty quick. But until then, I'm trying to do my best to figure out everything that I can so that we'll have a successful hike. So I've been doing a lot of research, trying to figure out what conditions I can expect and looking at other people's gear lists, stuff like that, trying to figure out the best things that we can bring so we can be prepared for the hike. As I said, my son and I are going, so thankfully most of my gear that I had is going to work just fine. However, there have been several things that I've been having to pick up for my son so that he can have something. And actually a lot of his gear is going to be quite similar to my gear. You may have saw it with the first part that I did with the JMT series. The stoves, both of our cook kits are pretty much identical, and our sleep kits are going to be pretty much identical as well. There are a couple of small differences, but I want to talk about those here. So just so you know, right off the bat, this is the core sleep system. I'm not going to talk about clothes or stuff like that will supplement this. I'm going to do all that with the clothes video. But I will go ahead and say that we are carrying a lightweight top and bottom long sleeve thermal, kind of like my Capeline 2. Of course, a beanie, and also some Goose Feet gear down socks. Those will be used in addition to these, but like I say, I'll cover those in a separate video. Like I said, this is going to be the core sleep system. It's going to consist of our sleeping pad and our sleeping bag, and that's pretty much it. So just so you know right off the bat, the setup that he's bringing weighs 2.2 ounces, the setup are 2.2 pounds, and the setup that I'm bringing weighs 2.6 pounds. My setup's a little bit heavier than his, and I'll explain to you why in just a minute. Now, first off, I've come to realize that the even July nights in the Sierras is much different from the July nights here in the southeast United States. Whereas here, I can't take off enough clothes to get cold or cool off or even feel comfortable. There, it can easily get down into the 20s and possibly even the teens. So because of that, I decided to go with 20-degree Fahrenheit sleeping bags. And as you can see here, I've got two of the Z-Pack sleeping bags. Both of these bags are the exact same, actually, other than the color and the actual construction. The sleeping bags are both 20-degree Fahrenheit Z-Pack sleeping bags. They are the long version, which is for users up to 5 foot 10 inches, and it's regular or standard width, which is 61 inches wide. Both of them have just the single zipper that goes along the bottom. There's no draft tube or anything like that. And as you can see, they're pretty light. Just so you know, his weighs 20.4 ounces and mine weighs 19.5 ounces. So there's a 0.9 difference in weight between the two. They're listed at 19.8 ounces for this configuration. I assume that maybe since his is a new design, maybe there's a little bit more down than his, why his is a little heavier or something. I'm not sure, but I am not complaining. Right at 20 ounces for a 20-degree Fahrenheit sleeping bag. Now, I call these a sleeping bag because if you're familiar with the Z-Pack sleeping bags, they're kind of more of a hybrid between a quilt and a sleeping bag. As you can see, neither one of them have hoods on them. However, they do have a 3/4 length zipper, which runs along the length of the bottom of the bags. The idea is to sleep on top of the zipper. I've touched up on this on some other posts I have about these sleeping bags. I think they're great bags. I was reluctant at first, but after I came around, I realized that I like it quite a lot, which is what led me to go ahead and buy his. These are generally about $395 a piece. However, at the AT kickoff this past weekend, this was actually a new seconds. They said there was something wrong with the stitching down where these vertical baffles meet the horizontal baffles. So it was knocked off $100. So I picked this bag up for $295. That's awesome. My son likes it. I like it. I feel like it's something that I can be confident that's going to perform for him well on the trail so that he stays safe, warm, and I got it for $100 off. Of course, I'm going to be using the blue. And as you can tell, the blue one here, I bought it last year. It uses the horizontal baffles, whereas this one uses the vertical baffles at the top and the horizontal baffles at the foot. I don't know if I really prefer one way or the other. All I can say is I've been very happy with mine, and the one night that he slept in his so far, he liked his. Now, other than the quilts, ground insulation is very important. I actually have 2 pads for each of us. First off, our main pads are the Neo Air X-Lights. He has the regular version, I have the large version, and that's part of the reason why his is a little lighter than mine. The regular version that he has, this pad weighs 11.9 ounces, and the large version that I have, mine weighs 15.5 ounces. So you can see there again, his sleeping bag is about an ounce heavier than mine. However, his sleeping pad is 3.5 ounces lighter than mine, actually closer to 4. So there's a big difference there. Also, one other thing, we are going to be carrying, this is a Lost and Klein 1/8 inch pad. He sold these a couple of years ago. I picked up 2 of them. They're considered full length. They're about 59 or 60 inches long and 20 inches wide. We're going to be carrying those. They can supplement the Neo Airs if it gets kind of cool underneath us, or if we don't feel like we need it to supplement it, we can always put it underneath the pad once we're inside our tents at night, and it'll help protect the Neo Air. I personally find that if I put the closed-cell foam pad on top of my air pad, that it actually does a better job at keeping me warm than it does when it's underneath the air pad. Other than that, one other difference with mine is that I also have, if you can see it here, I also have my Goose Feet gear. This is the down pillowcase and the Exped Ultralight Air Core pillow, or air pillow, large size is inside it. So I have a pillow set up. That is also, I think, about 3.2 ounces or something like that for the entire pillow setup. So that again adds more weight to my setup over his, and is why mine is ultimately a little bit heavier. But anyway, that's our core sleep systems. One other thing I want to say too, these closed-cell foam pads, another reason that I wanted to go with a full length instead of like torso size or something, we're going to carry them on the outside of our pack so that during the day, if we need to stop and take a break, we can just grab those pads and lay them out in their full length. One thing I have a Z-Lite pad. It's good just for sitting down, but if I just want to lay down, I like having a longer pad so that more of me, if the ground's real muddy or just nasty or something like that, or even if it's got a lot of rocks, a full-length pad to lay on is more comfortable to me than those little square pads. But where it really kind of won out is the pads that I have here, these 1/8 inch pads. For the size that they are, one of them weighs 2.7 ounces, the other weighs 2.8 ounces. My Z-Lite pad weighs 2.1 ounces. So these are like half an ounce heavier than a Z-Lite pad, but offer so much more. So that's why I decided to go with these and take a little bit of a weight hit. So anyway, that's our core sleep system. Like I said, we will be wearing some Goose Feet gear down socks, or we'll have them available if we need to wear them. I especially have a little issue with at night. My toes kind of seem to get cold. I don't know if it's a circulation issue, just me getting old issue, or what. But I am carrying some down socks. I just ordered a new pair from Ben. I went with the size large and 100% overfill, so I'm assuming those are going to be around 3.5 ounces. My son's going to wear my old ones, which is size large. I believe they only have 25% overfill. Those are 2 ounces. Other than that, like I said, we'll have long thermals. Of course, the long thermals can also work during the day as extra clothing if we need it while we're hiking. If not, they'll be clean clothes to climb into our sleeping bag at night to kind of help protect and keep our sleeping bags clean. And then, of course, we'll each have boggins on. I plan on bringing my Black Rock Gear down beanie. My son's going to bring a Z-Pax fleece beanie. And again, those are things, too, that can be used other than just sleeping. So anyway, I'm pretty confident in these setups. I'm very happy with them. Weight-wise, performance-wise, I think they're winners. So anyway, this is the sleeping gear that we're going to be carrying with us on the JMT for summer 2018. If you have any comments or questions, just post them below. Like always, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I appreciate you watching. See ya.